a guy who used to work with us, if you don't know who he is, a guy who used to work with us named Adrian Washington was a local comedian in St. Cloud. He's pushing 50. I think he's at least 45, maybe older. And he didn't get the comedy career he wanted. You know, he wanted like the TV shows and the specials and all that. And it didn't happen. So he started booking shows in St. Cloud. And he had 2 Steve-O shows that did very well. And then the rest, I think he lost money on. But those 2 Steve-O shows made so much money that he was able to get sponsors to invest in the other shows based on the success of bringing Steve-O here. So he brought Donnell Rawlings once. And he paid Donnell Rawlings a bunch of money to come here. So Donnell Rawlings returns the favor by letting him open on, he's probably opened on 5 Donnell Rawlings comedy shows.
Okay.
You know, made probably $200 each time. Cool, great. And then one time, Donnell Rawlings let him go to a Chappelle comedy special that was going on at the same time Donnell was doing a show that Adrian was opening on. And Adrian got to meet Dave Chappelle and take a picture. Very, very cool.
Yeah.
As a fan.
I remember that photo.
Yeah, as a fan, that's a big deal. Now, after Steel Toe's gone, the tickets aren't selling anymore. He doesn't take any pictures of his shows anymore.
Yeah, I remember he used to, like, he
used
find
to
5 or 6.
He would do these with the full crowd all the time back in the day. Now you don't see, he's canceling as many shows as he's doing locally. So now what he started doing is traveling to Chappelle shows and buying tickets or getting tickets. I don't know.
Maybe he gets them.
But he goes to the shows as a fan and then takes pictures and shows people that he's like Team Chappelle. Whereas if he saw Dave Chappelle would shake his hand and go, "I'm sorry, you are again?" Like, that's their relationship.
Yeah, Dave Chappelle meets a lot of people.
Yeah. Dave Chappelle met a fan named Adrian one time backstage. Adrian basically was Wayne and Garth.
Well, I mean,
going like this.
Fancy this. Dave Chappelle met a black aspiring comedian.
Never happened before.
Never happens. He's not. You aren't going to get lost in that. Oh, no.
So then Adrian posts this picture.
No.
Yeah, I know. It's embarrassing.
Dude, did he actually get into the show? He's on the outside of the barrier.
Well, here, we had a great time last night. Chappelle did what he does best. What? Not know who you are. I'm blessed to be able to learn from the whole team. Blessed to be able to learn from the whole team. Guys, do you know where the team is? The team is on that side of the barrier. That's where the team is. He bought this shirt at the concession stand, for God's sake. He is a fan who got to open for Chappelle's opener a couple of times, and now he references the team. And I would give him more shit for this, but like you said, oh no.
Oh no.
Like, it's just kind of sad because you know the guy, so you know where this is coming from. This is a deeply insecure guy who always wanted to be bigger than he is. And now this is how it's manifested itself at 50. He's also never been a guy to work that hard and take his time to build something. He always wanted the get-rich-quick scheme. He always wanted the next thing. That's why he's done 7 different podcasts, and he can't commit to them or do them weekly. I think he's pretty much given up on the podcast. It didn't get him an audience right away. So he gave up on that. So now he follows Dave Chappelle around, buys tickets to the shows. And I'm sorry, this isn't even, we talk about trashing people.
This isn't even trashing.
I'm just telling you what he does. And you can decide if this is bad or not. He goes and follows Chappelle around, goes to his shows, then takes pictures and says, he calls them the team. And like, he watched that show.
The team doesn't wear the shirts, all right? Like, Chappelle, like, I'm sorry, but that's a very low end, and I still do it. So, I mean, I'm talking crap about it, but I'm literally explaining myself here. The team doesn't wear, like, Dave Chappelle shirts or whatever. Like, when Adrian does shows, he's always wearing his one mic shirt.
Right.
Like, that's a low-end comic. And again, I do the exact same thing.
But you're not. No, you're good time-wise.
Yeah, but anyways.
But you're not pretending that you're part of a team.
No, but my point is, if you're still holding on to that kind of imagery, like, oh, and I got to be wearing the shirt so that you're still on the low end. And just for me, like, I thought of him as a mentor
Hit the
for a while.
subscribe button, smash that. There we go. So
yeah, just cut.
Yeah, you thought of him as a mentor before. You know who he reminds me of? Lefty Two Guns in Donnie Brasco. Remember when they find out how low on the totem pole he is after thinking he was like a capo guy, and the FBI just keeps moving him down? Poor Adrian is Lefty.
Oh no.
Yeah, he's Lefty. So now he's
the goat.
This is really bad.
You can, like I said, you can see the borders
cropped out,
slightly cropped out. He didn't even fully crop them out. And that's obviously not his phone.
No. I'm going to show you guys this one, and you can tell me if this is sad. Adrian tagged us, wrote, "This is simply dope AF, #comedy," and he posted this on his page. Not with like TMZ in the background or Getty Images or anything like that. He, honest to Christ, he's basically what he's doing is he's trying to trick people in central Minnesota. He's trying to trick 1,000 people in central Minnesota into thinking he's doing giant things. The problem with that, and what makes me worry about the guy, is that doesn't put money in a retirement account. That doesn't put money in a college fund. That doesn't pay your bills. That actually costs you money to do what he's doing.
Yeah.
And so he's ruining his family's finances and everything else just to play make-believe, so a few people he'll never meet in St. Cloud will think that he's up with Chappelle.
Well, I mean, if he's got people thinking he's big when he does a show, they'll come out, I guess. I don't know.
It's not working.
Well, I mean, again, like you said, the dude at the counter, like, I don't know, Adrian's doing big things. And when you challenge him on it, he immediately falls back because he doesn't go to any of the shows.
Right. He doesn't know.
I mean, oh, dude, I've got a great story from DJing this last weekend, and it kind of reminds me of this. But so I was worried I was going to get stabbed because I play requests, and a group of people came in, and one of them requested Nipsey Hussle does a song.
Okay,
it's called FTD. Or FDT. Fuck Donald Trump.
Oh, fuck Donald.
And that's the chorus.
Nipsey Hussle? He's dead.
Yeah, this is an old song.
Oh, okay.
But anyhow, so I'm playing, 80s hits, some country. Everyone's happy. This group of 4 people comes in, and they requested the Nipsey Hussle song. And one dude just comes around the corner like, "What? F Donald Trump?" And then the 2 dudes just go, "Yeah, F Donald Trump." And I'm like, "Oh God, something's gonna turn up and go down, right?" As soon as he sees 2 dudes going, "Yeah, F Donald Trump," he's just like, "Okay," and he turns around and leaves. And I'm like,
That's
"Holy
a smart
Jesus."
guy.
I'm just like, "Holy crap! Why did you even bother confronting them?"
Yeah.
Like, did you honestly think the DJ went, "You know what? We're going to do this. Let's just step out of all of our comfort zones for a minute. F Donald Trump. I'm a Biden supporter." Like, no.
So that was...
no conviction.
So there's the story on that. And it's just... On one hand, it's sad because, like, you were offered a spot here and you could have kept selling tickets here and making some money. And you don't have to do this fake it till you... It's not even fake it till you make it anymore. It's fake it to save face.
Well, you're not really saving face because, again, someone has to really pay attention to you for that to work. And then those people that are paying attention already think you're doing well.
Honestly, as far as Adrian goes, he is to Dave Chappelle what Stan is to Eminem.
Oh.
That's where he's at now. And he's trying to project, like, they're never in a picture together. He's never, and then he made a post, and Yags busted his balls on this post. He wrote a post that said, "Oh, I was going to go to the after party, but I have to make a brisket tomorrow." First of all, nobody was accusing you of not going to the after party or not being invited. But when you say shit like that, that lets people know, oh, you weren't invited to the after party. Nobody from his team even knew you were there because they don't know who you are. And then the Eggs just comments on there. He goes, "Yeah, because you weren't invited." And then Adrian responds with, which you don't respond to that. You just let that go. He responds, "You're just a hater," and then puts a crying, laughing face emoji. And it's like, dude, don't let him know that got to you.
He's a hater, says the guy who's like, I won't hang out with one of what's currently regarded as the greatest comedians of our current era, I guess. I won't hang out with that guy because I got to make a brisket.
Right. I make my living doing comedy, but I won't go hang out with the greatest comedian ever because I got to make a brisket. Have McDonald's tomorrow. Go hang out with Dave Chappelle. You're doing comedy for a career, and you're going to miss a great networking opportunity. It's okay to say I'm a big Dave Chappelle fan. I went to one of his shows. He inspires me. You don't have to pretend it's bigger than that because you're insecure at 50 about not making it.
It's just weird to be a roadie.
I know, a roadie, an unpaid roadie that they don't even know they have. Yikes. Iridium Hydrogen with $5 says, Phil Burnell, it's time to start working at a Starbucks. That was just, he said snort, so I did the snort.
Yeah, that's good.
It's pretty good DSP snort. Sean Raz with $5 says squirrel.
Where?
No doubt. Yeah. Pip with $10 says off to work. Have a good show, fellas.
Thank
you. Buddy with $20.
Holy.
On PayPal. And guys, at 6:30, we're at 310. So that first marker of $300, we're only $10 away from it. So thank you guys very much. If you want to throw into the PayPal, there's the link in the chat. We also have super chats and memberships. Oh, and if you renew your membership, make sure you click the $sign and you put the free notification in there so we know you did it, so it counts towards the goal. Helps everybody, including you. Curly Adams says, if two guys, one with an STD and the other with non-working legs, are making fun of you, then you have issues. You know what? You're right, but that's also
I'm just
very
saying,
hurtful.
This stuff Adrian's doing, I won't stand for it.
Pip says, LOL, he's in the street outside the barricade. How did you post that? I know.
And especially with that, because, like, that's the thing. You know, like you were saying, tobacco-stained tooth guy, he's going to buy that.
Right.
Any other person go, oh, wait a minute. So as a comedian and a performer, I look at that and I go, where are your stage shots?
Right.
Where are your pictures on the stage doing your thing? And, you know, where are your shots? You know, you're famous. Everyone steals it from Joe Rogan because he was the first one to really start doing it publicly, I think.
Stool humping?
No.
Oh.
The take a big selfie of myself with the crowd behind me.
I'll say this, like, and he's going to get mad when he sees this. I'll clip this out for the old school fans. He's going to get mad when he sees this. But we always rooted for him. And it wasn't until he shit all over me, shit all over the show, divorced it when it was convenient for him, even though it still would have been his best career move to come with us. Mm-hmm. Like, we still rooted for him until he shit on me. And in a way, still rooting for him because comedy's important, but he's doing, like, he never hustled. He never did the things you need to do to build a thing. He would start, and then the minute he got like maybe I can latch onto this and be my, he keeps calling himself his own man, but then any other thing he can latch onto, he'll try. And it's like, dude, you can't have this false bravado and then continue to be so insecure. You got to be more honest with people. That's why you never hit. That's why it never happened for you. People can smell a phony. People can smell someone who's not being genuine. And that's what happened. He's not untalented. He's not an unfunny guy.
No, he's pretty funny.
But he didn't grind it out. He tried to grind it out for a couple of months. He was taking gigs in other cities and something like that. And then he just ran around taking pictures of Dave Chappelle shows and pretending he was part of the team, which is too bad because that costs you money. It doesn't make you money. Matt Melt says, Donnell isn't even good. I don't understand how he is under the Dave wing. Well, everybody needs a weed man or a bag man.
That's the funniest thing. You think of, that clip of Donnell Rawlings where someone pretty much calls him over the neck chain thing?
Yep.
And
that was pretty bad.
And it's just like, Adrian's at that, but he's like that with Donnell. Like, he's like, I'll show up, I'll do anything you want, like, on my chance that it slingshots me.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, buddy. I don't think Donnell's going to keep you around if you're so good that it'll launch you up to Chappelle. Like, he wouldn't want that competition.
Right. Like, Chappelle was in Minneapolis. He was in your state, and nobody asked you to do anything.
No, but he was in that show, remember?
On the other side of the barrier where everybody is. Brandon writes, cringy parasocial relationship. Yeah, unfortunately, that's very true. Queen Bee Savage says, Aaron jealous sounds like. Yes, 100%. Kane B says, wait until we find out he's outside because the restraining order is a minimum of 500 feet. No. Dave says, even a low-res 360p video is superior to a picture. Dudes faking the funk. We called them posers back in the day, somebody says. Curly Adams says, are you deep down happy that he bailed on you? Yeah, I don't think he'd fit the show we're doing now. He had a hard time keeping up. He kind of had to slow the show down to his speed when he was on it. Fridays were always very different
because he doesn't
from the rest of the week.
He doesn't pay attention to anything.
He doesn't pay attention to anything. He doesn't make jokes about anything. He doesn't riff on any stories. No, he wants to talk about himself for 4 hours.
Yeah.
And that's not interesting. I can't talk about myself for 4 hours.
I don't know that he could do like a DSP burn or any of the stuff that we do with that.
No. He'd be like, why are we doing this? This is stupid. And he'd say it on the air. It's like, thanks, Pete. Although Pete's a likable guy. So Declan says, imagine living a lie, not as a teenager, but as an adult. Hulkamash says, does Adrian think big-time accredited comedy clubs wouldn't call and check with Dave to see if he's any good or actually with Chappelle? Well, I'm sure, like, you don't see Adrian in his comedy shows using Dave Chappelle's name because that would get figured out and he'd be in trouble. Derek says, guessing Yeggs is blocked now. Yeah, probably. Boy. Buddy says, when I get paid, you get paid. Seems good. Oh, thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. MN Vikings resubbing or remembering, if you will, for 2 months. And that's going to put us at 305. Guys, that means we are $5 away from our first hour marker. Thank you very, very much. Brandon says, remember when he sent you guys the cease and desist?
It's framed on the wall.
It's framed in our studio right here. It's right up there in the studio. Cease and desist. He says slander. It's like, asshole, you're a public figure. Slander doesn't apply to us public figures. That would be libel. Libel is published information, and the information has to be not true. The information we're providing is right on your Facebook page. Oh, boy. He's got a friend who's a lawyer, so he had him print him up one on the cheap.
Slander, I won't stand for that. And print it's libel.
Queen Bee says Dave was a surprise guest because Minnesota canceled. So it was cool to have those three on the same stage and then to be there. Yeah, props to him for seeing that show. And Aaron, I feel your jealousy. Oh, no. He wasn't at that show, Queen Bee Savage. He wasn't at the show we're talking about. The Chris Rock, Kevin Hart show.
He didn't take that picture from the stage.
He didn't take that picture.
He took that picture from someone else's post somewhere.
Right, Queen Bee. He was a fan. Or no, there was a press shot of that show, and Adrian saw it on the internet like the rest of us did, and then posted it as if he took it. That's really sad. So, Queen Bee, I know you have dual loyalties. It happens, but you keep doing this thing where every time we talk about a story, you're like, I think I'm going to bust him. How many times do you have to fail before you stop with the gimmick and be a real person? You love the show. You're obsessed with our show. Just be that way. It's okay. Adrian used you for fans, never gave you credit. Hard to respect a guy like that. It is sad to watch, though. Gray Duckling says, that's my plan, to take selfies at the anniversary show and pretend to be part of the staff. There you go.
But only do it from the outside door.
Yeah, Electric Shoes says he never had enough self-deprecation. You can't be a good comedian if you can't laugh at yourself. That was always what I thought was his Achilles heel, too, was the fact that he couldn't bust balls with everyone else because you couldn't bust his. And that's always, it's hard to get past a certain point.
That's why things like when he fakes it with like the TikTok stuff, that's why I wouldn't believe that. Like what was the TikTok one he posted that someone showed me once where I was, he's in his car. He's like, when you forgot that your phone automatically pairs with your car and you just watch Pornhub. And so he gets in the car and it's just a video of the thing and like, it's just like, okay, so you caught this, and he's all like, oh, and I'm like, you caught this on film? That doesn't look realistic.
The TikTok is another example of him wanting to make it big really fast, and notice how quick he gave up on that.
Yeah, because he doesn't post them anymore.
Right. He just gave up on it because it didn't happen for him right away. He has no grind in him. Balls and Wiener says he's a parasite. Be glad he's not attached to you anymore. But again, I don't think he's an unfunny guy. He could do something, but he won't. He won't stick to it. Our chat is funnier than Adrian is. Sean Raz says, has he ever played in Florida? I don't think so. Orange Boy says, Adrian would always cause problems with your contributors and rip off Johnny.
Yeah, kind of.
I didn't know about the ripping off. Well, I knew about he didn't want to give any money to Johnny to do our shows, but
that's
the ripping off.
Yeah.